3, 2, 1.
Coming to you live from downtown Chicago. We're on 833rd North Clark on the 31st floor. So shout out Mr. Segoviano for the hookup. Lucas, putting together great videos, great audio, and then gives us a great setting. So that was great. But I'm just pumped because we got our buddy Jack Griggett back. Took a hiatus last week, and now he's back, and we're pumped. How was your weekend?
Buddy. Kelly, baby, what's going on? It does feel good. I'm happy to be back. I felt out of place. But watching that episode, that was a very, if you haven't watched it, Chandler Harnish, I haven't met him yet. He just looks like a good dude, and you a lot of stories he said, I learned stuff from him. I did not know about all that stuff about Mr. Irrelevant. That's very interesting stuff.
This is a weird side note, but when he said he was picked 253, so there's 32 teams in the NFL, and there's 7, what's 32 times 7? I feel like it has to be an even number. It can't be like an odd number for 253, if that makes sense.
I'm sure there's something we could do with our fingers we could. Yeah, because there's all these math. Math geniuses out there. They're like, hey, put your one middle finger down. You can add up. What?
But that was a bad intro.
I totally disagree. 224.
Whatever. We'll get past it. The 4th was just yesterday. We're recording July 5th right now, so I don't know when this drops, but episode 9 will be out, probably sometime in around July 9th. But yesterday was July 4th, and if you follow Greg on Snapchat, he had a very interesting day. Would you like to talk to us about it?
Yeah. Well, my situation's a little weird. I'm not, I got 2 ex-girlfriends.
Not to brag.
Yeah, both, beautiful girls. I'm not mentioning names because, that's my private life. But, I got 2 ex-girlfriends, and it just so happened that after I broken up with one, then, this is there's a significant, distance in time between, when we date them. And then as I'm dating the one, these 2 become like best friends. They had never been best friends. Heading into college, now they're best friends.
Do you think they're conspiring against you?
Oh, yeah, I definitely... Yeah, there's definitely probably some plotting going on. God knows what they said about me and still say about me. It's just, you can only... Yeah, there's nothing good. There's nothing good being said, I'll tell you that much.
It's like a support group for anyone that's ever dated Griggett. They need each other. they need to counsel. They need to talk. They need to regroup because it's just so traumatic.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I needed counseling too because of those psycho bitches. But anyway,
you already get. You already don't already.
Well, I already got my shrink. Yeah. Hey, if you don't have a shrink, everyone's got issues. Every single human being has issues. Go get yourself a shrink. Get your problems out each week. That'll help you. It will help you. I promise that.
Even if you don't have problems, just talking about what's going on in life, that would.
Oh yeah, me and my shrinky, we just talk it up each week, chat it up each week. Shoot the shit. That's what we do. Got a couple guests rolling in here. It's all right. Yeah. It is what it is.
Not guests, but just
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll fight through it.
That's what we do.
You spent the entire 4th of July with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in a car with my cousin and these two broads. It's like, does it get any weirder? I don't think it does. Yeah.
Not to drive home the point, but when the breakup happened with Griggett, his cousin, who basically is a sister, could have picked sides, and she picked the ex's side. So
well, it's one of those things too. It's it's just so it's awkward, and I'm the type of guy that when me and a broad end, it's over. I unfollow you on social media. Why would I want to see your life on social media? Some people are like, that's extreme. Fuck what you think. I'm going to unfollow these girls on every social media site because why would I want to follow them? What, so I can get jealous, feel sad, feel lonely on a lonely night?
And now you go back to the shrink. We get back to the shrink. We have problems.
Then it's a depression chat with the shrink. So you know what?
Talking you off the ledge.
I'm gonna take the necessary steps to keep myself a happy individual at all times.
But you unfollow them, but then again, you spend the America's birthday, probably the biggest holiday of the year, with them. But we'll move past. I don't want to throw you under the bus too much.
No, sorry.
Is this the best holiday of the year? Is 4th of July the best holiday?
It's definitely a good one. Yeah. That's just a day where everybody gets boozing. It's just everybody's boozing.
It's warm. You're probably on some sort of water. You're either on a lake or an ocean or a river.
I was on a golf course water, but I mean, what are you gonna?
That's
water.
But hey, well, he was in the water. He kept in the water. So
I actually shot unbelievable. I forgot to tell you about that. I shot really fucking good.
What'd you shoot?
I shot a 43 on the front, which is good for me. Really good for me. Some of you out there like, that's not that good. I shoot at 39.
Grigget, for all you guys at home, his philosophy is he's trying to average 5 shots per hole. So he's trying to shoot a 90 on any course he's playing, which, again, respectable, because I don't know if I could do that. I'm not the world's greatest golfer. So 43 coming in, that's...
I like to play bogey golf. I mean, I like to be on, maybe 2-putt, par bogey. What are you going to do?
Yeah. But I think it's got to be the best holiday because it has everything. Like, you get to see fireworks. You're on the water. It's warm no matter where you are in the country. You get to see family or really close friends. And if you are, a psychopath, you're with your exes. I don't know why, but you might be. But 4th of July, for me, was ruined because of a center that played in New Orleans, and now he's playing Golden State.
It was a coward fucking move by you, Boogie. I said fucking again. We're going to have to bleep that out. I said, I maybe swore a little too much in the opening. What are you going to do?
Well, do you guys remember the video of Boogie and KD fighting in Golden State, and then KD was talking to the reporters, and Boogie was waiting right behind the reporters, and KD wouldn't acknowledge him because he's scared, and now they're teammates. Now it's like it's water under the bridge. You are a snake and a half.
Well, they fought also in New Orleans. For besides the point, it's a coward move by Boogie Cousins, and how the league has accepted this to happen. I mean, first off, we veto the move by Chris Paul to go to the Lakers a few years back. Why? This should not happen. This should never, in the history of the NBA, ever happen again. It should have never even have happened. To have 5 All-Stars, it's a joke. And then there's reports that, you see the reports that he didn't get offered. So he signed a $5.5 million one-year contract. 5.3. That's a nothing contract in the NBA.
For all you people at home, how little that is, Darren Williams, who is no longer in the NBA, is being paid $5.5 by the Brooklyn Nets this season. And Josh Smith, who is also no longer in the league, is being paid $5.6 by the Detroit Pistons. And they're staying at home. They're not working out. They're on their couch. They're with their kids. Boogie Cousins is rehabbing every day with his torn Achilles, and he took a 5.3 deal to just, pussy out and try to get a ring.
Right. There should be an asterisk next to it. If they'll definitely win a ring. There should definitely be an asterisk next to it. He's basically playing this year for like $10, which, hey, good for you, but it's like, no, not good for you. You're a wuss. These guys have kicked your ass for years, and now you're going to join them?
Yeah,
because you can't beat them? You're a loser. You're a bum.
It'd be like leaving like a small commercial bank and joining like a gigantic one like BMO Harris, and you're taking literally you're making 20% of what you could be, but you're like, well, no, I'm at a really good company now. We hit our benchmarks every year.
What do you think was worse, Boogie going to Golden State or KD going to Golden State?
So
they're both cowards.
I say it's Boogie. The reason I get mad about KD, not just joining.
That shocks me because you hate KD.
I'm mad about the fact that he was up 3-1 in the series against 73-win team, and he loses 3 straight games, and then he's like, wow, I can't beat these guys. That's a coward move. Joining a team for literally 20% of your actual worth, and joining a team that has won 3 of the last 4 titles. They should have won 4 of 4, and you're going to go there basically at a league minimum. There's never been a lower move ever in sports.
Let me ask you. He played high school basketball. You were a 3-year varsity player. I was a 3-year varsity player. I'm sure there was a team that you couldn't beat, and there was a team for me, a team by the name of Glenbard West. They had a stud in Justin Pierce, who's at William and Mary. He's thriving. He's doing awesome. But if Glenbard West, every year I trained to beat, and I was always thinking of those pricks. I want to beat Glenbard West. If Glenbard West ever called me after year 2 on varsity and was like, hey, you can't Grigget, you can't beat us. Why don't you join us? I would tell him, yeah, I got a better idea. Why don't you go outside and why don't you stick something up your ass? Because I'm not joining you. I trained to beat you. I trained to kill you. And I'm going to try my hardest. And I'm going to talk shit, even if I'm getting smoked. And that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, like you'd think that it would be a motivating factor. You'd think like, oh,
Right.
But it's not. For some reason, it's not. I don't understand why.
I would never join someone that has been significantly beating me for years. I'm going to do everything in my power to try and beat them.
It's like your little dog just rolling over and just getting your belly,
Right.
rubbed, and it's like they're your master. That's what it feels like. That's what he did. It's a coward move. It's a bitch move. But let's get past it. We'll stay in the NBA. LeBron to LA, and now he's being joined by just some motley crew of veterans. I mean, it's a
Dude's looking to get down, and the guy's looking to fight.
I will say that of all the teams right now in the league that you don't want to see in an alley, I wouldn't want to see the Lakers.
No, I wouldn't either.
Rondo's
scrappy.
Rondo, Stevenson, they've seen some shit. Like they've been in bad play. Like they've seen stuff that no human probably should see.
Remember Rondo and Heinrich back in the day, like throwing fists. That was awesome.
Shout out Kirk Heinrich.
Shout out Kirk Heinrich.
2000s Bulls legend. I wore number 12 because of you. You were my hero.
All-time three-point leader for the Chicago Bulls. Nobody knows that. Yeah. Nobody knows it.
Yeah, people forget that. Also, speaking of record holders, do you see Joey Chestnut wolf down 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
He's up there with the GOATs. He's up there with Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell.
7.4 hot dogs per minute. Guys, I challenge the listeners at home. This is me challenging you. Eat 7.5 hot dogs in a sitting. I'll give you 2 hours. You're not going to be able to do it. This dude's wolfed them down in 1 minute. And then he did it for 10 straight minutes.
So does he works all year, right, to spread his stomach?
Yeah. Fun fact, they drink an absurd amount of water. Like I'm talking like 5 or 6 milk jugs of water a day.
All year round?
And that just makes their stomach bigger and bigger.
And yet
Do they have beer guts? I don't think
he's in shape. I would call him in shape is what I would call him. He's not.
How do you describe in shape for hot dog eating?
Well, I would describe it as if I looked at that guy, the first thought is
that's a normal Joe working a normal job.
I wouldn't even say he has a dad bod per se. Would you think? Do you think he does? Like I would say he's just a slim individual.
What does he get paid for that?
I don't know. He's got to make I don't think he makes a killing off of the actual event. It's the sponsorships.
Yeah.
It's the events he gets to go to.
He's probably got so many hot dog joints around the country named after Joey Chestnut's hot dogs.
He also he's a really good beer drinker too. There's a video out there. You can just look at us up on YouTube.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
He downed 12-ounce glasses of beer in a minute 30.
Yeah. That's a feat that Grigget will never even attempt. So,
I'm not a great chugger. I'll be honest. I like to take my time with my alcohol.
Same.
And I'm not even a huge beer guy per se. I've always been. I'd rather drink hard alcohol because it's gonna get me to where I want to be faster. That's
well, that is true. We're all trying to get to that point.
I couldn't find what he earned annually, but his net worth is $800,000.
Wow, okay, here's my question about Joey Chestnut. What was your thought process growing up? Were you how does it come into someone's head? I think, Mom, I want to become the greatest hot dog eater in the world.
He has to have an abnormally large stomach for a person his size. He must have a stomach that's suited for a 300-pound man, and he's 180. And he must have found that out at a young age.
I'm still amused at what he must have been one of those kids that was he would get nachos and he'd be like, all right, I'm gonna eat these nachos as fast as I can. Okay, Joey, go run off, kid, and play with your nachos over there. What are you doing, Joey?
Have you either of you ever done a food eating competition? I don't think
never.
A competition
anywhere.
or the challenges.
I've shotgunned a beer. That's about it, and I lose. So I'm not taking my nachos and going to shove the chips down my throat as fast as I can while throwing water in my mouth. It's weird.
That was a bad visual. Saying water in your mouth, that was a bad visual.
What do you mean? That's what they're doing. They're eating the hot dogs and then they put the water in their mouth. It's very weird. If you people haven't seen this, go take a look at it. It's disturbing. Go ahead.
No. What I was saying though is, if you guys ever gone to the Buffalo Wild Wings challenge, Sego, have you ever done the blazing challenge? I'm gonna gather myself. Have you ever done like the blazing challenge? Either of you?
Twice.
Oh, have you succeeded?
The first time I did, and the second time they actually changed the sauce and made it about 5 times hotter, so I failed brutally.
So I've always looked at those people that were doing that and was like,
And shout out Tony Torpedo. I did it with Antonio the first time, and I was able.
explains a lot.
You get 6 minutes. I finished mine in like 4:30. I just downed those.
Jesus,
There's
Sego,
like
what do you got, a career in the hot dog business?
Oh, I handle like hot foods well. There's like 30 seconds left.
He's talking about wings, not hot dogs.
Well, yeah, I know, but this is how Joey Chestnut got started. He started just eating random objects
No,
at a high rate of speed.
Well, this is just a funny thing if you picture it. And then there's about 30 seconds, 20 seconds left. Neen still has 3 wings left. So he rubs off all the meat, and then he puts all the meat in his mouth at once. And his mouth is just...
Well, some would say that's creativity.
No, it's smart, but it was funny.
It's called being a winner. It's called
Yeah.
getting the job done. And shout out Antonio. He's found a way to he's made every episode so far, I believe. This is episode 9. He's made every episode, whether...
Good for you, kid.
Yeah, and whether we talk about him or whether he's actually talking, he's made every single episode, which, that means he's a character. It means he's a figure. So, I don't have a lot of topics to go off, but just looking, so it was kind of stormy earlier today, and we're in the city, and, we got some elevation, 31st floor. I don't know what it is, but I could watch lightning strike, like, the lake all day long. From like watching inside here, I could watch it storm all day over Lake Michigan.
Well, I don't live down here, so I can't. I can't. But I mean, you are down here now. If you didn't know that, Jack is living down here. Good gig. You got a great.
Lucked out. Yep. Shout out to the Del Degans housing me right now. So yeah, no, it's great. But I don't know what it was. This might have been a terrible topic. I think this was a bad topic.
Well, no. It's a kind of. We walked out. There's a beautiful pool out here, so we were walking around. But I'm like looking through the city, and I see all these buildings, all these people. There's so many people, all this stuff. Then I immediately think to like athletes, and then I'm like Mitch Trubisky, like this guy's got to be coming up here. He looks at this beautiful city. It's like everybody in the city knows who I am. I'm Mitch, our quarterback. I mean, this guy's got to be walking, like, feeling just like a million. This city is awesome. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm sure Mitch has an unbelievable pad in the city. He's just looking over the city like, I fucking run this joint.
Still staying on the topic of sports. Talk about how Donovan Mitchell tweeted out, hey, any moves for the 4th, and then randomly shows up at, like, a pool party.
Do you believe that, though?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it happened. I thought it was confirmed.
I saw it.
This is the first I've heard of it, but he
seems like a really cool dude.
I think he embraced the fact that he's kind of playing for a small market in Utah. He's like, I'm a small market guy. They're going to worship me like a god. And they're already crazy Mormons out there. So they're going to look at me like, in this high, they're going to look at him in a light that most athletes won't get, even in, major markets. So I think he embraced it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to become a man of the people. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to get worshipped.
Right.
So.
Small market teams, they worship stars. Big cities, like we'll have a Sammy Sosa, and we just kick him to the curb.
Yeah, and you wanted to get into this. How many years was he in that home run race with Mark McGwire? Probably like 6-7 years. He had that 60 homer year, I think it was 1999, and the Cubs won't even mention his name now. So
many great moments. I mean, him running through the outfield on 9/11, after 9/11 with that flag, and those, his home runs where he's jumping and kind of going to first. Okay, he cheated. I got news for you. So did a lot of other guys.
They're still cheating to this day.
Right. A-Rod's walking around New York Stadium. I mean, give me a break.
And just like A-Rod, Sammy Sosa never... Did he ever fail a drug test? No, I don't think he did.
No.
I'm almost positive he didn't because he would have been suspended. He got suspended for having a cork bat. He never got suspended for steroids. And newsflash to everyone out there, Barry Bonds, I don't think he ever failed a drug test. A-Rod never failed a drug test. You know who did and is universally loved, but it's public knowledge he failed a drug test? David Ortiz. He failed one in 2003, the year before they won the World Series and they came back from that awesome 0-3 deficit. No one talks about that, though, for some reason. Why is that?
it breaks my heart that we don't bring Sammy back. I mean, I don't get it. I don't. What are we? Don't you? I mean, the guy was dark toned. Now he's like white. He's got enough things going on. Let's bring the guy back.
He paid his due. I mean, he's not a black man anymore. He's
not even a black man. He's got enough things going on. He's probably he's going off the deep end, obviously, probably from the roids. But come on, the least we could do is let him sing a 7th inning stretch for the love of Christ.
And if you're a Cubs fan, if you're a Cubs historian, we don't got a whole lot of players that we can call on and be like, do you remember him? Do you remember him? I mean, we have some real bad years. I mean, you think about like the Billy Williams of the world, the like Andre Dawsons, the Ryan Sandbergs, Ron Santos. Like, that's great. That's 4 players for like 100 years, and we're just gonna throw Sammy Sosa away like we don't need him.
He was the best.
He was.
He was. I mean,
he's one of like, I think how many players now? Is it 7 or 8 players that are in the 600 home run club? And he's one of. He's in a single-digit club in baseball, which has, hundreds of players that come in and out of the league every year. It's been thousands upon thousands that have played of all time, and he's one of, I believe it's 7 people in the 600 home run club. It might be 8 now. And we're just gonna throw this guy to the wolves because we all assume he did steroids, and we really basically
we don't know. We really don't. I mean,
yeah, whatever. This is America. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Does that not apply anymore?
They won't let him come back until he admits he did it. It's like, no.
What?
It's like if you steal something from Walmart and you get away with it, but your mom is like, and it's awesome. It's something awesome. I don't know. You steal from like Toys R Us, some store, whatever.
R.I.P. Toys R Us.
Right, R.I.P.
Did you side note?
I did see a Toys R Us today. That's why I brought up Toys R Us.
Did you see their website?
What about it?
It was like a super depressing thing. It was like Toys R Us is done. Like all these memories you guys made, keep making memories, play on.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Like, for some
how
reason,
are they gonna take away Toys R Us?
For some reason, that kind of hit me.
Oh my God! That was. I remember the first. This is one of my earliest memories. I believe I was 4 or 5 years old, and this was when it was just my brothers and I. My sister hadn't been born yet, and we were spending the night at my grandma's house, and she took us to Toys R Us for the first time, and we bought Power Rangers, and it was the funnest day of my life. I mean, shout out Power! It was amazing, and I always was grateful for Toys R Us. And
by the way, have you guys heard about? Well, okay, real quick, back to my last thought on Sammy Sosa. This is what the Cubs are basically doing. This guy got away with cheating. Good for him. But it's like stealing something, and you get home and you're like all pumped up, like I stole this. It's free. This is great. Then your mom's like, what? In order for you to play with it, you got to return it. Like, hey, I stole this.
That would be impossible though, because if you admitted you stole it, they'd be like, well, give us it back. Well, no, I told my mom that I was going to tell you guys I stole it.
You would have to bring it back. You would have to, bring it back, and then your mom would, I guess, buy it for you. She'll buy it for you, and then you could go play with it. It's like, well, Chicago Cubs, what are you doing? He's going to get a standing ovation if you ever bring it back. Bring him back now.
And going back, this is kind of based off Walmart. Did you, actually, I shouldn't say did you see this. You brought this up to me. Applebee's and IHOP just merged. What's going on there? That's such an interesting yet terrible combo.
I mean, one side's cooking breakfast, one side's cooking burgers out of the kitchen. I mean, that's weird. How is that?
I thought we established though that IHOP was moving to IHOB. So now we're
International House of Burgers. Now it's so weird.
But now they like tag team together.
Applebee's is a good joint too. I don't really know why they would have to bring in somebody else to help them out.
They're kind of like Chili's. They're in a way Chili's like stepbrother. They're probably equal, but for some reason Chili's gets better clout.
I don't know. Yeah, you're correct. I've always really enjoyed the Chili's, TGI Fridays, Applebee's. Those are great places. Those are great airport joints. You go to those at an airport.
Nailed it on the head. I've probably, of all the times I've eaten at Chili's, I'd say 65 to 70% is when I'm in an airport.
Oh, God, great meals. Potato skins. Are you kidding me? I would eat those up.
I'm not going to get ahead of myself. It's not like it's great meals.
No.
But it's a nice sit-down place.
And you get what you pay for, too. I mean, you know what I mean?
And you know what? Exactly. I mean, what was that 2 for $20 deal at Chili's? That's a perfect date spot. Get some chips and queso with your girl.
Right, sweetie,
Get 2
you're
for
not.
20.
We're not going to a Brazilian steakhouse yet. We're just not there yet.
Honey, I'm making $12 an hour.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to take you to a
You'll get what you get. You'll get what you get.
I'm giving you love. That's all I can give you right now.
Right.
When I get my salary, I'll give you the world. Then I mean,
Give me 15 years.
I'm a broke college kid. Cut me some slack. How about we just share an experience together?
Right.
Go for a walk. I don't just spend any money then.
Let's go walk the dog and just talk about memories and
Actually,
stuff.
how about this? It's 2018. You buy my fucking dinner. How about that? You open the door
You're
for
probably
me.
making more than me, and in what? I gotta pay for you. Are you really?
Yeah, you pay for me. You open the door. We'll do that now. How about that?
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, get out of my face.
Next thing you know, things are turning into heated arguments.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you end up with 2 ex-girlfriends that are conspiring against you. And I think that's a perfect place to wrap it up. We ended where we started from, and this was amazing. Episode 9 coming from 31st floor. We're not allowed to name drop the building.
Not a big deal.
But, I mean, the Hancock building is literally a few blocks away. We're looking at it. Sears Tower is a little bit farther away. I mean, this is not an easy walk to get there. But
It was a pleasure doing business with you people. I love you.
shout out to Sego and his dad for hooking it up. I mean, he just continues to come through time and time again.
Sego, man of the people.
Man of the people, and he's the reason this is all possible. So,
And we will continue to praise him.
every episode. So, signing off.